Oh yeah.
Got that one open.
Oh look, are we finished?
Yeah, actually, when
You have to
and also the nice room is a bit of a square as well, and it just looks
Oh, what? That's real. Appreciate want me to shut?
No, that's fine. Get off. I'm not like sworn. Just, maybe comes in. This is the pit.
Yeah. So what you said He's going down escalators. Really funny.
Pull it too, they're off.
No, we can pull it too, it's all right. You want a shot? Pull it too, shall we? Pull it too.
With the show, it will be about an hour or so of questions and answers. So if you have any questions for Jonathan about the spirit world, about how mediumship works, then please do speak up and ask any questions that you have. The second half of the show will be the spirits will come through. So the first half will be more of a warm up to get a feel of the room. The importance of speaking out if you feel something is for you cannot be stressed enough, because not only does it mean that we all get a good show, But it means that if you don't speak up and you feel something's for you, you could miss your chance of connecting with somebody from the other side, a loved one or a friend. So please do that. I'll pass you over to Elaine now, and we'll get going. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we might get people to go up and share.
Yeah.
Got to wait till tomorrow.
Right. Hello everyone, thanks for coming along tonight. Those of you who come from near and far, hello. Hello. And I think we've got some naps in here to join us today. Get your nap free now. So I'm Elaine, most of you probably know me anyway. You've seen me before. Either that or you've seen me on YouTube or Facebook, which is what my son has recently started putting me on. So I'm going to ask you to join me for a prayer, okay? Put the music on off the start, okay? And once we go into the prayer, then Lucy will put the music on, and then they'll come through, okay? Hopefully, yeah, deserted me. Father, we ask you to bring our spirit guides and our loved ones among us this evening. And we ask that everything we do is in love, life, truth, happiness, and harmony. And we ask that the messages are profound, abundant, and correct. And may you place the utmost of healing, love, and the greatest protection over each one of us. And may this continue with us now and throughout the days of our lives. We trust you and we give our love to you as you do to us. And we ask if anybody in here needs healing tonight, they come up to the front, or whether they do need it at home. We ask that you go out to them at this time and our animals, Father. Now we leave ourselves with the hands, trusting and have a good evening. So if anyone wants to go to the toilet, just round there, okay? And just keep your phone on silent, but you can record if you want to.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and it's lovely to see you again. We'd like to thank you for gathering here this evening. Yes, this is a lovely day, isn't it? And I would like to thank the Lady Isabel for making her way over here, because there are reasons for that I will explain later on in the evening.
Thank you, brother.
You are most welcome, my dear. And Sir Red Cloud is there with you. Very much so. He says that he has plans for you. It says that you have to take this further.
Oh,
Wonderful, because it says that you have faith in him, then he can do this with you. If you have faith in yourself, which is what you need at this present time. The confidence is a little low, and we are going to work with you to help you to overcome that.
thank you,
A
brother.
little bit of it has to be done by you, of course, but we will do our bit.
Wonderful.
So I do invite questions to you all if you wish to come forward. Those, of course, don't be shy. We do not bite. We have just the same personality. The spirit world is what we have here on the earth. Only we know more about the spirit life because we are there, present within it, within the love, the light, and the truth, which is what we bring to your world. And we will be bringing more of that. It will become even more prevalent. And of course, you were mentioning to Elaine, my dear, about the jewels, the crystals that you had from the spirit world delivered into your circle. Well, there will be more of that. There will be more. And I see that they are looking to put the crystals into the center of the room, because there will be more delivered. There are going to be 6 altogether, which are you 6 sitters. And there's going to be an extra large one in the middle, which is spirit. And that is going to be placed in the center with all of those 6 crystals around it as an eventuality. And I would say that the energy drawn from that is going to be absolutely wonderful. They will come forward to you and place the crystals in each of your laps so that you know which one is going to be yours personally. And then they want you to sit with that each week.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful, because there is progression in the year 2020, of course, that I have been conversing with you about. I would say to you that there is going to be a very strong spiritual awakening, a connection to you and to spirit on the whole of this earth.
Okay,
Yes,
yes, definitely.
it's like a raised vibration, isn't it? It's going to be a big vibration and a heavenly connection with you all. I'm very much looking forward to what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is imminent. So from 2020 onwards, it's going to be absolutely wonderful.
Mhm. Oh, right.
We are all excited on the other side for you all. So more of you will be coming together to create this. We have been working on this for many, many years. The time is coming for the huge awakening.
You've been told that often.
Yes, you have been told it in your physical circle, haven't you?
Yes.
And of course, your other sittings that you do together, you have been informed of that. So I come to you, and if you wish to ask questions, here I am to help you.
We'll go for Can I just ask, when Jonathan, I saw you in Margate, someone asked about, when loved ones are around, you smell and they move things. I've never felt that with my parents passing. Is it me or is it them?
Well, I would say that we all connect in different ways to spirit, and we connect in different ways to you, you see. Sometimes you will get smells of perfume, sometimes you will get tobacco smells, or smells that you can recognize that they used or had around them on the earth. You see. But not everybody does receive that. Sometimes people will receive synchronicities, voices in their ear, or thoughts that are impressed onto their mindset, or they will receive synchronicities in the way of music, song that that person particularly loved in their lifetime, or walk into a shop perhaps and people are playing, all of that sort of thing. We have many ways of connecting with you here upon the earth to give you signs that we have made it to the spirit world. It's what we call a transition.
I just wonder whether it's because I find, I wouldn't say frightened is probably too strong a word, but whether I'm blocking them as such.
Well, that can be the case. There is nothing to be afraid of, because if they didn't hurt you on earth, why would they hurt you?
No, when I lost my mum, quite a few occasions, I used to wake up, there used to be her dressing gown by the side of the bed, and I'd always scream before I got to the head. I still have these sort of, not nightmares as such, but I still have those sort of things now. And I just wonder whether it's me not opening up, and I'm not, I'm just too frightened to,
Nothing to be afraid of.
No, I know. Thank you.
They are just the same, but without a physical body.
Mm.
And understanding more about the situations with your life and about unconditional love. We can see everything from every side of every story, each explanation of it. They're all shy as Hello, my dear.
Hello, good evening to you. I've been there in a circle, you may or may not be. I would just like some technical information, please, if I may ask.
Technical.
Possibly, yes.
Yes. So you are wondering about physical mediumship, is that it?
Yes, specifically materialization.
Yes. Well, with materialization, this requires ectoplasmic energy, and this also requires the ectoplasmic energy to be built into a form, you see. And this takes much energy from the sitters in the group, or from the medium in the group, for this to be able to form, and it may take quite a bit of time for that to form. Of course, a lot of the mediums will go into a deep trance state for this to happen, but that is not always the case. It is quite possible for the ectoplasmic energy to build up independent with all of the sitters' energy going on. You've got one medium that it may be emanating more from, but the others will also supply the energy for that ectoplasm to form. So it is made up of ectoplasmic energy, which is a form of energy because you are an energy, the spirit is an energy, everything that surrounds that is an energy. And that is what ectoplasm is. It is a form of energy that is utilized by the spirit world in order to bring things to life, to solidity. Does that explain it for you?
Yes, I'd like to take it a little bit further, if I may. We've introduced a Tesla coil, and we've materialized spirit in full body in the circle. But after a certain amount of time, it tends to diminish, and we're not getting any sound, but we're getting visual.
Yes, well, I think that a lot of people want to see visual as well as hear sound. So maybe you will find that the sound is going to be built up later on when the energy becomes a little bit more strong, probably built up. But because of the fact that you are wanting visual first, then sound will come after that. Oh, yes, it will come. But everything takes time to build, doesn't it?
Yes, we've managed to the point where we've got spiritual voice box that's manifesting. So we know that it's imminent, but it's trying to synchronize. Again, synchronicity between the material and the energy.
But it will all come together. In my explanation, the best things come to those who wait. Isn't that but true?
It is, yes.
So I think that what is going to happen with you, my dear? This will become known about. Like a follow-up of the old skull experiment, isn't it? And they want to carry on from the other side. So, yes, you will be known about.
Well, I've recently been avoiding that for about 8 years successfully.
Well, no longer is anyone going to be hiding away.
Right.
These things are going to be gradually coming to the light, and no darkness will be needed.
Yeah, okay.
We are working on that.
I know that there's another group in Germany that has got the same things that have happened to us within the circle. So but I know of myself and another group, and I'm unaware of any other groups at the moment that have formed.
That is wonderful, because you are synchronizing with their energy too, aren't you? I think that perhaps if you were to contact each other and see how you were progressing, that would be a wonderful idea. It is up to oneself.
Thank you.
Now, I understand you have something with a dome over the top of it, a glass dome,
That's correct.
and you have put something underneath that glass dome, and you are wanting it to stay calm.
That's correct.
We can take it up.
Oh, well, little Karen has other ideas.
Yes, we have a childhood in ourselves in this way. And she does like playing with the toys.
That is Karen. She visits you.
Thank you. We have actually, we have got some new ones. Of course you can.
She loves to play. Good evening.
Could I ask, the first started, we just got our whistles in Reiki, and our hands move very fast, slowly revealing. Can you explain what that is, please?
I will say that you will have guides and helpers that will come through. And the energies are constantly renewing themselves and changing. So I see that there is operating going on. So with one of you, there is going to be trance operating going on. And I will say that that will start to become more prevalent within that person. And so this is why the hands are moving fast, because they are stitching things. You have a surgeon, a spirit surgeon. Now do you see?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Jonathan. I understand that you and Elaine met in a past life.
Yes, that's it.
And I just wanted to, I was talking to my mum and my sister in the car earlier, and I have, well, I dream every night. I think some things link up to what's happened during the day, which I can understand. But I have reoccurring locations and reoccurring dreams that come from nowhere. And I just wondered if they could be past life, almost regressions in a way, or
That is right, they are, my dear. You are reliving it because they want you to let go of certain fears from those other lifetimes in order to move forward in this lifetime. But you also have a soul memory that will every now and again open itself up and allow you to see what has gone on in past life, so that you can take note of that, and it can connect you to this life and what is going on in this life and what you can learn from, if you understand.
yes, thank you.
We're going to be a past life question.
Well, there you go.
I've always liked to go back and see, because I feel at home in places where I've never been, in places and things like that. I do. I do.
There you go. They're showing you a little bit of history as well. You included.
He's very nasty. Thank you.
I will be doing some healing this evening if one wants to receive in the second trimester of the evening. I will be asking people to come forward if they so wish to do so. This is something fairly new to Elaine, although it is not new to me and it is not new to her soul. It is something that we are starting to carry out because it is meant to be. Many of you are healers here, I should imagine, and that you know that the energies of the healing are beginning to become stronger and they are changing. So many of you in here may have felt that. You may have felt your healing changing slightly. If you understand. So there is a new energy, a stronger, more vibrant energy coming into the world. And those of you that are here that are mediums, which are many of you, will notice that. You will notice the changes and the moving forward. And of course, the raising upwards. I see that there is one lady there that is a little bit shy to ask a question, but she has it going around in her mind over and over again, so that she doesn't forget it.
Yeah, hello, Jonathan.
Hello, lady.
I'm just curious about your story and what happened to you and how you passed over.
Oh, yes. I have spoken of this before. And in my lifetime, I lived in the Victorian, near Islington in London, Highbury. I was married in St Mary's Church, which of course Elaine has been back to visit previously. And I worked with my father, who built up a business with the horses and carriages to allow the gentry to be ridden round in posh carriages and sometimes carts. We would have all of those. And he would build the business, and then I would grow old enough to help him. And then I would meet Mary Ann Ellsworth, which was Elaine. She was Mary Ann Ellsworth. She came from the north to find work in London after her parents had passed away. She came with her aunt in the carriage, and she found work in our abode. And so, yes, she was to be employed as a maid in the house. Of course, I came to look at her. And we didn't see each other in a fanciful way, but there was something that we couldn't really explain. It was unconditional love beyond the surf. So it was nothing about loving each other intensely like that. It was a spiritual love that we didn't even begin to understand, but we somehow knew about. But she was a maid and I was the son with the father's business. And we would meet quite often for, well, when we could do, yes. And made that mind-to-mind connection, that one connection, but 2 to 1, you see. So 2 become 1 in a spiritual sense. So that makes you a twin flame or twin soul, whichever way you want to put it. But of course, having grown up in a Christian society, I never really knew anything about a spiritual connection, only that you went into church every Sunday and prayed to God. And that was in those days, a lot of the people went to the Christian and the Catholic churches, and that was tradition, wasn't it, for many, many years, that people still do now, that they sit in the church and they pray to the Lord Jesus. So, yes, I had no understanding of that spiritual connection, but I knew them, and I felt as if I'd known them for a long, long time, which that I had. But of course, I had a good lady wife, and well, that was to be found out about. And then Elaine here, Mary Ann Ellsworth, was sent to the workhouses. And then shortly after that, I felt that I wasn't very well one day. I was just about to help a lady into the carriage with her husband, and I had a terrible chest pain and a terrible dizziness and a pain in my arm and hand. And then the next, I was out of body, looking up at myself and looking down at myself. And then I would see my grandmother in the light, and she came to collect me, where I passed to the spirit world and reconnected with my loved ones passed before me. But I had quite a busy life, quite an eventful life for the 45 years that I lived. But in those days, a lot of people passed young because of certain diseases and because of lack of knowledge about certain conditions and illnesses that came to pass. And so in your society today, you have that knowledge and the equipment to help people to survive some of these heart attacks. But it wasn't to be in those days. So it was but a little unfortunate that I would pass to the spirit world as what you see as a young age. But there you go, my dear. That is, I'm not going to explain the whole of my life, but just the majority of some of it.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
It's interesting. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Now, we do have a lady here that has been here waiting all evening, and she says, well, I'm trying to get through to Sandra. And she said, well, Sandra is my daughter, and she is living on the earth, of course, and my name is Mary, and I'm just a little lady with grey, salt and pepper grey hair, she calls it, and she's got a little white cardigan on here. She's standing over by the mirror. She says, we don't really see ourselves as being in mirrors, but I'm here. And I'm waving to the people at the back there, trying to get through to my daughter. Does anybody know about this, please? Speak up or forever hold your peace.
We do know a Sandra.
Yes.
On the airplane, but her mum isn't called Mary.
This is more like a grandmother, you see. She's trying to, sometimes you get a motherly energy that will come in. And she's saying, well, I'm only a little lady, but you can tell her about me if you could.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yes. And she has glasses on and off, as you do. And she has a little handbag that clips shut with a little loud click that it makes when she closes the little handbag. She was a little bit slow on her feet, more shuffling towards the end. And towards the end, she really did slow down and end up passing to the spirit world at home. But she is very much getting in first here. And we also have Sir Red Cloud helping out in here tonight. He's going around the back there giving people healing. And he is saying that somebody in here has a very bad neck. And sometimes it makes them feel a little nauseous. And he says you have good days, you have not so good days, when this neck pain is there, and it is between the base of the neck and the shoulders. You see, so somebody has it here. Does anybody know about it? Well, you should if you have it.
Yeah, I have.
Yes. And he is coming in from there. He is saying, well, I am here tonight and I'm helping out with the healing, and I would like to come to you and give you some healing, dear, he says.
Thank you.
It says that sort out the way that you sit and don't carry heavy bags on one side of you. It says your pillows, it says, are not right. It says you keep taking a pillow out in the night and putting it on the floor. Then you want it back again. It says it's the way you're sleeping that's not helping the condition. And it's gone on for some years.
Yes.
So he says that sometimes if you seem a little quiet and you're not always speaking, it's because you're constantly doing this, you see. You're constantly rubbing your neck and feeling the pain there, and you don't know what to do with it sometimes. So we will come to give you some healing in the second half. And if you want to be the first up here, then you can. It's up to you, my dear. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Thank you.
I also want to say Jessie in here, please. Jessie, It's a pet named Jessie. Does anybody know this cat named Jessie? It's lying on the floor there. It looks to be a ginger cat. And I think that you will find out it belongs to somebody that isn't here tonight named Anne. So see, and we're going over here with that. Yes. And we also have Bill here tonight, who is a father, please, over here. We have Bill and we also have Ron here tonight. They are together. And they are both fathers in here, Bill and Ron. They are coming forward, and one is a little bit hunched over, the other one is standing more tall. And the other one that is hunched over would have smoked in life. You see, Ron would have smoked, and he would have had a chest condition towards the end of his life, and he would have had cancer in the lungs. Sometimes he would have been named Ronald, but everybody seemed to call him Ron.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
Yes. So he's a lovely man. He's at the front here, but he's also saying, well, I will give Bill a chance. But he said he was slightly hunched over, Mike.
Yeah.
So he said that his spine was like that, and he had a bit of a bad neck as well. And he's got quite a nose.
Yeah.
Quite a prominent nose.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't come after me for that.
Yeah.
He says, I don't mind, Jonathan, but he's got quite a prominent nose, and the chin is prominent
Yeah.
too. And he was a lovely gentleman,
He was.
lovely, friendly gentleman. Always used to come up, shake your hand, and say good morning to you, and nothing that he wouldn't do for you, you see. And he's got pints of milk with him. He says, you're always running out.
Not now, we don't. We have too much milk now.
Yes, he says, well, when I was here, you were running out
Yeah.
of it. Yes. And he's mentioned Jamie or James, who is on the earth plane. So perhaps it is a relative of his.
Yeah.
Yes. Do that if you wish to, my dear, because it's James, you see. And he's also mentioning Robert on the earth plane.
Yeah.
So he's mentioning him as being a younger character.
Yeah.
Yes. And he also says, how many pairs of scissors do you need? He says, you've got lots of pairs of scissors.
I think I'm missing.
Yes, and you go mad, he says, and I can see you in the kitchen looking for them. Where have the scissors gone? I had them here yesterday. Lots of scissors. You have to go out and buy more, then you find them. You
Yeah,
see?
that's it.
And he's saying there's an old push bike out there. An old push bike. He's talking about he had a push bike in his younger day, you see?
Okay.
And he's saying, well, I'm back on it now, riding around everywhere.
All right.
So he sends his love to you, and he says, there's a document that you've got to sign,
Okay.
and he says it should be done before the end of the year.
Okay.
So he said it's to do with something that, I don't think it's you, my dear, is it? No, I want to go to somebody that you know. They've got to sign a document. There is something that needs doing with the under part of their house.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you understand about that?
Yeah.
There's a bit of underpinning
Right.
to
Okay.
be done in the house. Would you know about that?
Yeah.
Yes. So they've had a little bit of subsidence. They've got half the
Yes.
house underpinned, and it is very expensive. They're worried about it.
Yeah.
So I think that they will, Spirit will find some way of helping them through. We can't live their lives for them, of course.
No.
We can help them through.
Yeah.
Now, who is Jerry, please? They're going over that side of the room, bearing in mind they will come in all of the places that they can enter into. Jerry. We have Jerry on Spirit's side. And he would come in as Uncle Jerry, but he would also be a father, of course. He's coming in from over there. Does anybody know him? Jerry. We will see. I'm waiting to see if anybody knows, but he's quite happy to step back. And I also want to say Lawrence too. We have Lawrence, the surname of Lawrence. And this gentleman, I would just call him Mr. Lawrence because he seemed to be neighborly and he's got the surname of Lawrence that is coming in. I believe he would have been around his 70s when he passed. So he's very much over the back there, sort of walking around, trying to wait for some information to get. Does anybody understand? Do speak up and don't come and tell Elaine afterwards. Otherwise, I will be reprimanded. Yes. Questions, please, if you
Could I ask you a question, please, Jonathan?
Yes.
How do you manage your concept of time?
Well, when you ask us to join you, we know that you are going to gather together. And so we do not look at a clock or a watch. We have no time in spirit, no concept of time whatsoever. We just see your light that is shining to us and giving us permission to join you, and then we will come and be with you at your gathering.
But your time in yourselves when you're not with us, when you're...
Well, we have eternity. There are things that we wish to learn on the other side, our connection to you. We are learning about better ways of communication, better ways of explaining this communication, new ways of bringing new energies forward into your world and into your circles. So yes, we do have our things to learn if we wish to. And sometimes I do enjoy listening to the angels sing. So we do have our happy moments when we all gather together and we all are happy together and laughing, joking with one another, much the same as we would have done on Earth, but mind to mind. There is mind connection.
Elsie!
Now, who is Elsie here? We have Elsie. She was past in her 80s. She has entered into the room, yes. She's coming over there with a sort of a light blue floral dress on that has a little crest to it here. She's looking very smart and coming in, and she says that she was an aunt and a grandmother, but she is Elsie. Does anybody understand Elsie, please?
Speak up. Quiet. Have you lost your voices?
No, we didn't there.
Oh, Melvin.
We have Melvin here. Does anybody know Melvin, please, that is coming in? He is very much standing at the front here, waving to you all and saying, well, I will go back and see who else I can get. Yes. Would you understand that he's getting on a bit?
Yes.
And would you understand that he's not very well at this present time?
Yes.
And that he is sort of, I see him in an armchair that he sits in for most of the day.
No, I don't think not all the day. Maybe just sit when he's allowed to.
Yes. He dawdles about, you see.
Francis.
Now we do have Francis here too. But this is a male Francis. Does anybody know who the male Francis is, please? Do speak up and don't be afraid to.
I can take the Francis as well.
Yes. So Francis is there too, and they're both dancing around like fools here because they say when you cast off your physical body, you can do anything that you want to. We can walk through walls now. They said it's quite fun, actually. But when you first come to the spirit world, you have to practice, you see. You have to practice, and you get used to being in the physical. Where you were in the physical, you couldn't walk through walls, and it feels rather strange once again. But once you get the hang of it, it's wonderful. get to see many things. He's a very cheeky fellow, isn't he? Now we do have Frederick here, over here at the front. He is here with you, and he's blowing you kisses and saying, Easter time next year is going to be very prevalent to you.
Okay.
And he said there is going to be a journey for you and a renewal for you. That I am here giving you hugs and kisses,
Thank you.
and he's offering you a box of chocolates.
Oh, thank you.
And he is saying, you know, you will pick the right one. So it's like a symbolic message to say, well, plenty of things are going to be offered to you.
Yeah.
They have been in the past, and you've sort of been a little bit worried about whether or not or which one you should take.
Yeah.
So he said, you will get these choices, and they all seem sugar-coated. Some of them aren't so good, some of them are. You've just got to fathom out which one you feel right with, and you will go in the right direction. You understand what he's
Yeah.
trying to explain?
Yeah.
Yes. And he is saying, you know, fortitude. Step forward and have fortitude. Would you understand? You're going to be in an advancement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also would say that I want to go to a foot that somebody is having a problem with,
Yeah.
and they're going to be due to have some sort of surgery on it.
Okay.
They may need that, but it seems to have gone on for quite a while,
Yeah.
and it's getting painful and annoying.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, he has mentioned Angie.
Not thinking about it.
On the earth. This is Angie, and you will meet her, and she will become a good friend to you. I think that you are going to make some decisions while you are meeting her. There's also Doris here.
Yeah.
She is saying a happy birthday to you.
My son's birthday next week.
Yes, she's saying happy birthday to him and many happy returns, and she will be there. You see, your son's a big boy now, though, isn't he? And she said, well, I like to treat him like a little boy and say happy birthday and give him candles. She's a very nice lady, and she's giving you the color of green.
Okay.
So she's saying there are matters of the heart that need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And she said there's a lot going on in the family which we won't explain here.
No.
And what I will say is you're going to have to be quietly assertive with them all.
Yeah.
There are 4 of them giving you trouble.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want to mention Andy on the earth too. That is around, Doris is mentioning Andy, so I think that she knew this Andy.
Possibly, yeah.
Yes. And I want to say the train. Now, would you understand about this? Some sort of incident on a train? A laughing moment?
Yeah. Many years ago.
Yes, it's sort of like somebody nearly getting shut in the doorway
Yeah.
or something and just making it, just laughing about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he did laugh it off himself in the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
He was rather angry at the time.
Yeah.
Yes. And I want to say it's going to be a little bit unusual here. Bechamel,
Okay.
the sauce here, like a sauce you put on the fish.
Yeah.
And somebody is very partial. She's saying partial to their fish. You see,
Yeah.
it's got the sauce on it, the bechamel going on top.
Okay.
Is somebody taking cookery lessons here?
No,
On the
I
internet?
did years ago. I
Yes.
did, but I don't do it so much
She's making me chuckle because she's saying she gets dinners out of the microwave now.
now. It should get home from working time.
Yes. And I do want to mention Graham on the spirit side.
Yeah.
He has come in to give his love to you, darling, and he's saying, I want to give her a great big cuddle, you know?
Yeah.
So happy birthday to the young, well, not so young
Yeah.
one, but happy birthday to him from all of us. And don't let him ask for too many things.
No, it doesn't.
I want to say damage to somebody's roof here. I know it may seem irrelevant, but there is something of a damage to a roof.
Yes, certainly.
And you were worried about it because you thought, well, how am I going to get the finance together to get it repaired?
Yes, that's right.
And you thought, well, what if it rains? You know, you're worried about that. But I think that as an eventuality, you got it done. You're going to get it done if you haven't. And I want to say Barry to you. Would you understand this? Earthly Barry. There's going to be a man called Barry coming round to the house to do some work in it.
Oh, right.
Yes, I do see that is before the end of the year that she's going to come round and sort things out, you see. And there is also, thank you, my dear. Yes. Now, somebody is playing their favorite music that they had at a funeral, and it's called The Twist. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Yes. So everybody felt like this person didn't want a miserable funeral, so everybody felt like they wanted to get up and dance
Yes.
rather than grieve. You know, you had tears, then you had dancing,
Yeah,
and somebody was sort of singing along to the music in the quiet at the back, you see. I said, well, I had to make it funny, didn't I? You know me.
Yes.
So she's saying she's very happy on the other side. She's doing the twist now. And she's saying, just watch your back with all of that. But she's also mentioning Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Would you understand Mark?
Yeah.
Yes. And would you understand Mark as being with you on your side?
Yes.
Yes. And you said a little bit of an and an ah, so are you having some trouble with him?
Without disclosing, yes.
Yes. I don't want to go into it, my dear, because it is a personal matter, but I would say that as an eventuality, somebody is going to need to be a little assertive with this person, and I think that they will get the message in the end.
I hope so.
Yes, because it's gone on for too long.
It has, yes, and
I see it as upsetting you.
yeah, he's due to be sentenced in July.
Yes. And is this a family member of yours?
No.
Because I see that it is upsetting for a family member of his that they never thought that he would turn out to be this way. But,
Yeah, I know that would be.
yes, they're very upset and distraught, and sometimes you think, well, shall I help them, or should she have done more for him? Yes. I want to say the Willows.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes. Would you know about a street of the Willows or something here?
Yes.
Yes. And would you know about a lady's bungalow in the Willows?
Yes.
And would you know that you knew her? Did you look after her? And was she going to leave something to you?
Hmm.
Well, she wanted to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, she did. She did.
And would you know Mary connected with that, please?
Oh gosh, yes.
Yes, she's very much here with you. And she says, I want to give you a cuddle and know that your troubles will be coming to an end soon, you know. I'm here to help you, darling. I'm here to wrap my arms around you. I used to love you coming round to see me.
Thank you.
You used to make my day so happy. And now you will continue to do so because I am happy here now and I'm with you. So if you need me, call me. I'm there.
Oh, thank you.
She's talking about the cartoons on the television and all sorts.
Yes, I understand.
Yes, that's right. She used to like that, you know.
Yes.
And she's talking about the name of Forrester. Now, in here, I would like to mention to somebody in here, Bill Forrester. Does anybody know the medium Bill Forrester? Has anybody heard of him?
No offense, but I never.
Yes, I think that's going to be some sort of connection around that very soon, yes. I also want to mention Alan in spirit. Now, this gentleman, Alan, is quite a tall, thin gentleman. He would have passed, he's going to his chest and really showing me the lungs that are quite damaged here. That's sort of showing me some sort of COPD disease that he had, and also going to the tummy and talking about some sort of condition there. Now, would you understand this, anyone, please?
Yeah.
And he is saying that I was a bigger man, but I went very thin towards the end of my life. And I had right struggle breathing. You know, I was the life and soul of the party, really, when I was younger, but you know, I am the life and the soul of the party in spirit now. I want you to know that I'm here and that I made a good transition to spirit. And I just want to say, believe in yourself.
Okay.
And does anybody know Marty here, please? Martin, who is on the other side. Now, where is Sir Thomas? I'd like to say that Martin has come through, and he's here right now, and he's saying, I'm having a whale of a time with my egg sandwiches in spirit, and I want to give a message to your father. I know he doesn't believe, but I am around him, and I do push him forward to do things. I'm with you all, and I do pop in to see you. I just wanted to come in and send my love to you all and see how proud I am of you for doing what you do. He is very happy, and he's wanting to send his love to his beautiful wife and his stepdaughters. He's wanting them to know that he is at peace and they can be with him to talk to him. Yeah. Wonderful, because I know that it is his birthday this month, you see, or has been. And he's saying, well, I can party on the other side till I drop. Oh, good old beer. He said, we can't do any betting here, though. The horses are free to just roam everywhere that they want to go. They don't go where you tell them to go. So there's not a betting shop. Now, there is also another man here that is on the other side, and I believe he would have been Derek. I know Elaine's father is Derek, but there's a Derek here that also liked the betting shop. And he is coming through and talking of a heart condition. And he's quite a big man. Does anybody know? Yes? Would you understand what's going on over there?
The big bumblebee with a bat.
It's a bumblebee.
Yes.
It's a huge bumblebee. Not just a bumblebee.
Keep your mouth closed. Is he going out? Yes. I will let Elaine come back so that you can chase the bumblebee out. We will reconvene shortly, my dear. Have a break, everyone.
Don't see bumblebees that stage.
They'll only sting because if they sting, they die, so they don't like to, but they're paid to sort out the doors. That's why we're not my bloody heads.
Oh, look at
We
that.
open the door.
Oh no, he's getting caught that way.
Oh, he's big. He's getting caught in the leg. Oh, he shuts blind, and we wrote down that window. Yes.
There's behind it. Go down there.
If anyone wants to get a drink,
Oh, that must be a queen or something.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very black and white. Well, because Charlie and I had this but then everyone seems
I don't know what.
No, I know it's difficult. You don't want to find the information, do you?
No, I don't know
Yeah, I know it's difficult. It's like, yeah,
but I don't know what it's saying.
yeah. I mean, I'm still the fight is saying to somebody if somebody does understand, is it the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it that way, maybe.
He didn't know. He wasn't. But we did have I really think of someone the last time I did that was one thing we did.
That's very special. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I think that's like autistic.
Okay, yeah.
Over the years, he was very OCD. Yeah, cleaning it up on every morning on the same one. And then he would start to lay the table, get up before me, and then I'd come down and the table was laid. And then one day I said, why do you do that? He said, And yeah, she was his sister died. I don't know, 2 or something like that. It's one of the things time, his class is British, yes, he was born in the hospital, in the British sector. But yes, his twin died inside life. Yeah. And so I think he wasn't the greatest. He was a hard worker. Worked nice, really school, never any gaps. No. Big thing. I can do things, and I ignore that's my house. That one was a lot different to mine. Yeah, just the other night I
Yes, ask, same about that. Is it the same? Does it take the same for them?
that's what I was
Yeah, they're not punished or anything. Because I suffered some mental health. He has come through, he came to my son. One local time, my son came to church. Yeah, so very comfortable, but you know, it would help.
But if you don't say it, you'll say, oh, this one is not a question. Then you've got to say it. And I didn't push you under the bus, stuff like that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's all right. Every time she said a name, I thought, oh, yeah. Oh, I thought, you only have to one day I'll see one night. And I said, and there that's a good one. I'll go for that second song because it's shorter.
Was everyone ready? We're all back? Okay. Okay. They out there?
No.
They probably thought it ended. Okay. Have they gone out? Oh, no, okay. I'll wait for them to come back. Miss out.
Yes.
He doesn't come back again. He's hiding. I'm knocking the door time, so he's in there.
Elaine, ask, as a medium, do you know what's going to happen with Brexit?
I sit to a man who looks after me, keeps asking my guy that, and he said months ago that Theresa May would step down.
Yeah.
And he said to a couple of people that there will be a twist in the story or something.
Oh, it won't be
There'll be a
Boris,
twist at the end of
hopefully,
it. It might not be Boris, you know.
Maybe
I
that
don't
was
know.
the twist when he got
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
They're all the same to me, so I'll be asked. I don't know nothing about politics.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know where your fella's gone.
Well, it's not my family, it's a friend.
Oh, I see. I think he's hiding somewhere. He's hiding in the corner. Yeah, we'll make a start. He'll come back in quietly. That's best. So is everyone ready? Okay.
Hello again.
Hello.
It is good to be back with you again. Now that you have had your break, we can all come back together. We have all been milling around you, waiting for you to reconvene again. But this is the part where we do a mixture of things. That I would like to do the healing. And also, if you wish to ask more questions,
Can I ask you, Jonathan, how Elaine steps aside and has that trust for you to be able to take over?
it has taken many years for her to trust in me. And sometimes she still has a bit of that human doubt. She will reprimand me sometimes. But we do not mind. All of your guides are the same, you see. Sometimes you will doubt in yourself rather than doubt in them. You want all of the answers. But we are not here to give you all of the answers. We are here to guide you through the ups and downs in life. We are here for you, to guide you spiritually if you wish to work spiritually. But to make the connection, I had to go through a series of, I would say, energy changes in Elaine. And I would have to speak through her the way that I do. You see, the way of the voice change, it is not hurting her in any way. But I would say that I would have to use the lower tones of her vocality in order to bring my voice through. And then I would form the ectoplasmic energy around her vocality, around her energy, in order for me to be able to blend with her energy and come through and use her the way that I do. So we do not step inside of your possession. That is not what we are here to do. We are here to step into the energy of you, which widens as you go into the altered state. And then our energy will blend with that widened energy. And then we will manipulate that energy, manipulate the mindset, and manipulate the vocality, so that we can then put our thoughts onto the medium and speak through in a physical voice, you see. So it is not as easy as it looks. Some of you will think, well, perhaps that is some sort of altered ego in me or something. But in yourself, if you're going to be doing trance, I hear a lot of mediums say, well, it feels like it's me doing it, Jonathan, but it is not. Part of it has to be. You are the instrument you are the medium that is being used. For instance, medium means in the middle, doesn't it? And you are the receiver, the deliverer, so to speak, in the way of the voice, in the way of the spirit. So do not say, well, I feel like it is me, because part of it is you, you see. We are using your energy, we are using your physicality in order to bring the message across. So you have to be involved in it. Otherwise, how are we going to do it?
Jonathan, our loved ones in the spirit world, when they know that things are happening in our lives, how do they know? Can they see or sense or hear? How do they know what's going on in our lives?
You mean spirit?
Yes.
Well, we can see from above, my dear. And we know exactly what you planned before you came to the incarnation of this world, you see. Everything that you are going to do, even as your change of mind, you planned it all before you came here. So it's no good blaming God, is it? Because you had free will in the spirit life, and then you chose every single detail of your life and what you're going to live and what you're going to learn from it. So all of this business of you will be thrown into hell of your sin is a lot of nonsense. Because if you'd all sinned, you'd all be going to hell and nobody would be in heaven. So you are all meant to come here in order to make these mistakes, in order to learn about all matters of unconditional love in human form. You wanted to experience it in the human incarnation, which was choice.
Thank you.
The little birds are chirping outside. They know that we are here. So I invite healing to be done if one wishes to have that healing. I ask for people to come to the front.
I'd like some healing, please.
Yes, I would,
Yes.
please.
I want you to close your eyes and trust in the energy. Now you may find that if there are friends that are around to support this, that they will need to come up here. Because she's going to go to the floor.
Really?
I just want you to relax and forget about it. Close your eyes and feel the energy flowing through you. Feel the flow. Now everybody got it. Yes, good. So you want to go? How do you feel?
Relax.
Wonderful. Create peace.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome.
Oh, so much fun. Oh, someone else might need one.
It all depends on which way you want to go. Now with you, my dear, I want to go to the lower half of the body. I'm going to work on that, but I'm also going to work on your mind and release some of those fears that are within. Just relax and feel my energy going through your mind, taking you to a wonderful place. Got that chair with shape. It's good. Sleepy. You feel sleepy, my dear. I want you to put your head into some of it. Yeah. One more. Come on. A bit more. I want to go to your knees. Yeah, man. I just feel lovely.
Grandma.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel sleepy? Yeah. I do tend to knock people out. You will sleep like a baby tonight.
Any more?
I'm sure there will be.
Anybody have any questions?
Relax, sleep tonight.
I'm just thinking there's not a chair there.
Put the chair. Relax. I'm going to gently take this over in another direction. So I'm going to speak to a couple of people here just to make sure she. Maybe we should invest in a mattress.
Mhm.
Yeah, strange.
As I always say, you will feel wonderful in the morning.
Having this hope right.
Okay.
Yes.
Back to your chair. Okay, I will do one more. I see somebody is the lady with the problem that I explained here earlier this evening. You have been up yet?
Yes.
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 Okay, I see somebody over here wanting to come. But I will leave it up to you. You are the lady who sits in the table. I have to hear your strange things here, isn't it? This is your body reacting. I'm feeling you with energy. I would like to say that there are many here amongst you. Although you cannot physically see them, they are a little like the wind. You trust in the wind because you feel it, but you don't see it. But although you cannot see it, it is an invisible force that pushes you along the road. If it is but a strong wind, or if it is a gentle breeze, it will blow around you and you will feel it and know it is there. You will believe it because you feel it. But you know that your loved ones are similar to the wind on the spirit side because they are all around you. They bring you breeze, they bring you feelings, they bring you reassurance, they bring you love. So know that they are there. Although you cannot physically see them with your eyes, feel them in your mind and your heart. You could call upon them at any time that you so wish because you are not annoying them. You are not slowing down their soul's progression in any way. They will come to be with you as they want to be. In your times of stress or distress, or sadness, or even happiness, they come amongst you. Your birthdays, your Christmases, your happy moments, your spiritual moments, your sad moments, they are there. As I always say, no matter what, we are here. So if you want us to be with you, don't think that you are becoming an irritation to us. because we want to be with you. We are in a world that is unconditional love. So we have no malice, we have no telling off to give you. We will only ever come here to advise you, that is it. Not to lead your life forward, as I always say. For the healing that we give, I work on taking away old emotions, old habits, old fears. And sometimes they can bring about a cure, especially if you have physical ailments or anxiety in some way or fear in some way. I will alleviate you of that. I will take it away. We are capable of doing these things in circles, in the demonstrations. While you are sleeping, we heal you. If you ask us for that healing, we cannot always be expected to create a miracle, but sometimes we can alleviate your pain. For a period of time, it may return after a while, so it is not then but seen as a miracle. But sometimes we come to the earth to give miracles. We sometimes come to the earth to heal people. So you see, we are all connected as one. Your world and ours, they're not too far apart, are they? Just a whisper away. They are all around you. If you could see us now, there are several in the room. And they're all wanting to get through. Now, we do have a gentleman here that wants to get through first. His name is Colin. You see? And it is Sir Colin Fry. And he says, I see a lot of potential in here. I see a lot of people coming together as one, and I will be working from the other side to come and help the mediums of the earth. Just as I would have promised that I did in the physical life, I am carrying it on in the spirit life. With my guide Magnus, he and I will do what we can to help mediums on this earth, to spread the word of God. And he also says that now he believes in orbs because he is one himself. So he's standing right here with you all, and he's saying, I remember all of these gatherings in the physical when you would all come to me for your readings, and I would do the best that I could to give you the information that I was given. Now I'm there myself with my mother, and I'm standing here in this room looking at you all. You can't see me, but it is wonderful to be here with you. Keep up the good work. Keep the faith. This is what he is saying. Don't doubt yourselves, because you all have abilities of your own. Each and every one of you. You are all unique and beautiful. So never sell yourself short. Give yourself love and appreciation. Take that love and appreciation from others too, because it teaches you how to love oneself as well as others. That is the most difficult but arduous journey of life, is to learn how to love oneself, isn't it? You would think it would be but a selfishness to love yourself and think, well, if I love myself, then I'm not loving others. Or should I love others outside of myself but not love me? I would say, yes, love you as well as others. Because if you were going to go to somebody else and say to them, I love you. You are my mother, you are my father, you are my son, you are my daughter, whatever relative or friend or animal that you have in life, you would want to give them love most of the time, wouldn't you? But would you look in the mirror at yourself and give yourself that love as much as you would give it to others? Would you see that as a selfishness? that you were even beginning to feel that you were loving yourself and appreciating yourself, it is not wrong to love yourself. Most of you will be good at punishing yourselves and putting yourselves down. But if you would not do that to another, then why would you do that to yourself? Sometimes the healing comes from within, inside of you. You've only got to look within yourself to find the answers. They are all there inside of you. You go to ask another for advice, they will give it to you. But that may be the way that they want to approach things. You may want to approach things differently. So look within oneself for the love, for the answers, because you have a beautiful soul inside of yourself, which is lit up like a beacon of light. It knows exactly what its journey is. And the little bird agrees with me. Yes, it's singing for you. And I would say that there is a gentleman here tonight that said that I wanted to come back as a bird and show my beautiful daughter that I'm living alive on the other side. I promised her that if the spirit life existed, that I would come back as a bird to chirp at her, and I'm out there chirping my head off right now. I love my daughter. I only passed last year. And here I am chirping away to try and get at her, to let her know that I'm so happy. Would you understand? The person that passed in 2018 as a father?
Yeah.
And he is saying, did you remember about the bird?
Vaguely, yeah.
Well, he is out there now. That little bird out there, your father is with it, making it chirp away and saying, I love you, darling, and you did the right thing. You did the right thing, and you will get that work that you wanted. Were you after this work?
Yeah.
He said, well, don't worry, you will get the work that you wanted, and I will carry on bringing the beautiful bird. Now, have you discovered the robin yet?
Yes.
Now, would you understand that the robin keeps coming into the garden?
Yeah.
And he has been near the window?
Yeah.
That is your father. That is his essence, letting you know that he is with you. And he's so excited to be here with you tonight. And he says, I had a peaceful passing, darling. And it went on too long, didn't it? And you were very unhappy. You kept crying because you didn't want to see me suffer. And then you came to my bedside and told me how much you loved me. And you said, Dad, it's okay to go now. I know that you didn't want me to go, darling. But when you said that, it helped me to realize that I shouldn't be afraid to go. And I knew that you would live on with your life and that you would carry on. So he is here. Look at his little song going. He said, I followed you here tonight, and I can fly like the bird now. I can be free. I don't have to suffer anymore. He said that somebody has a photograph of him on their mantelpiece in the middle of the mantelpiece.
Yeah.
He said, well, that's Dad. I always take pride of place on your mantelpiece.
Yeah.
And it is a photograph of me looking well and smiling.
Yes.
And it was the latter years of his life.
Yeah.
So he is saying, well, keep it polished, darling.
I do.
You dust it and you kiss it.
I do.
And you hold it to your chest.
Yeah.
And you cry.
Yeah.
It says, I am with you. I am with you always. A lot of them like to give poetry when they pass to the other side. I believe that he would have liked that.
Yeah.
He was quite a gentle character in life.
Mm.
It says I wasn't one of these fast-lane people. I took everything in my stride. I was quite laid back.
Yeah.
He's talking about Marlborough.
Okay.
Would you understand that?
Yeah, years ago you used to smoke
Marlborough cigarettes.
Yeah.
It said they don't really do that anymore. Nothing tasted as good as it did the 60s, you know, everything was good then. But I'm here, I'm happy, and I'm with your grandmother. He's talking about being with his mother.
Yeah.
Yes, so she is with him. And would you understand Eileen?
Yes.
She is with him too. Would you understand that? So they're all skipping around in here, so happy. And they say, get the son sorted out.
I'm trying.
Because he is being very hard work to you at the moment, and he is feeling a little lost.
Okay.
But he will come out of that, you know. They don't stay like it forever. I will also say, Jim, to you, please.
Yeah.
And I will also say that there was a time when you stood with your father by the ocean.
Yeah.
And you watched the sun go down.
Yeah.
He said, well, when you see the sun go down, darling, I'm with you. You still go there.
Not so much. No.
Well, he wants you to go there one evening and watch the sun go down, and he will be with you. Take his love.
Thank you.
I also want to give you Jack.
Yeah.
You see? And thank you. Would you understand, yes, Bryony? I'm going over here, Bryony. Because that isn't with you. I want to say Bryony on the earth, a young girl named Bryony.
And then a lady called Bryony.
Yes. And would you understand, does she look younger than her years?
Yeah.
She likes to be a little bit glamorous.
Yeah.
You see, she's got a little bit of lipstick on and she likes to dance. You see, we are giving her healing because I see a very, very yellow part on her knee. Would you understand?
Yeah.
And I want to go to the right knee.
Yeah.
And it's coming yellow here. So I see that she's wanting to do all this dancing and things, but she has to rest up with this knee.
Yes.
And does she wear some sort of support?
I'm not sure about the support, but yeah, it's quite bad.
Yes. I think that she will have to go to the hospital and that she will have to have an X-ray and things looking further into.
Okay.
I want to say the bishop to you. Would you understand that?
I know the bishop family.
Yes.
Yes.
The bishop. Yes, the bishop family. And I see that they are quite a large family unit.
The ones that I know, I only know.
You know 3 of them?
Yes. 4
Yes.
of them, yeah.
I see. So healing goes out to them as well.
Thank you.
And I want to say Rini in here. Rini, it's not going to
No,
be
it's not
Rini.
name.
No, I can take a front camera.
Yes. Would anyone understand Aunt Rini? And standing with the Leslie. Now, who understood the grandmother Rini, please?
Yeah.
Me.
So you've both got grandmother Rinis. So both of them are here, yes. And then one is giving one a clip around the ear because that's what she used to do if you gave her any lips, she said. When you're to tan legs. But one of them is giving you, she said, one has had trouble with their tooth, she's saying. You see, an earthly person has had trouble with their tooth.
Oh, yeah.
And would you understand Chrissy on the earth, Christine?
Yes.
I don't know if she knew Christine, my dear, but she's talking about a sister. She's with her sister.
Yes.
Yes. And she's also saying the name of Myra.
Yes.
Would you understand Myra on our side?
Yes.
Yes, she's come forward to say hello to you. She said, I love you, darling. I want to give you a big cuddle, and I brought Violet with me.
Oh my word, yes.
Oh, yes. It warms
Oh,
up in
God.
here, you know.
That's 3 generations.
Yes, they're all together.
Oh.
And they love you so much. They're wrapping their arms around you. See, the healing brings them in. So maybe I will do that at the beginning and the end. But they are very much loving you. And they're saying, you know, we are here for you when you sit and cry.
Thank you.
And we are here for you when you're happy.
Yes.
Just know and trust that we are here. And you have a gift.
Yes. But they
And do
should
you-
know.
Yes, do you do a little bit of Reiki healing, my dear?
Yes.
And that is going to get stronger. And I understand you give messages to people.
Yes.
Well done. They are so proud of you. And they say you're going to travel about a little bit more and you're going to get more known.
Oh.
So you better get used to it, they say, because this is how it is.
Hmm.
They love you so much.
Oh.
They're all crowding around you and saying, well, you've got so much energy there, use it.
I've got them for starters. I mean,
Oh, yes.
there's 3 generations of mediums there, so.
Well, what do you expect?
Oh.
I know that you didn't believe that they were there. You were doubting yourself, but now you know.
Yeah. I
Now
never
you know.
doubted my grandma's there, but as for her mom and her grandmother as well, then that's
Yes.
really.
It is special, isn't it, my
Yeah.
dear? This is the way Jonathan likes to do things. I surprise people sometimes,
You have.
and your guys will do that for you. They do tend to surprise you. We want to mention Ricky. We're going to the back somewhere. Richard. Richard that is in spirit. And he seems to be a father and a son. Richard. And the name of Baker attached to that. Richard Baker. So I do believe,
I used to know Richard.
yes.
Sorry.
Ah, well, it doesn't matter, my dear. If it is for you, then you need to speak up. But they mentioned Richard Baker.
I went out with his brother Spencer Baker.
And he's saying, well, you know, he's not going to say any more about that. It was very short-lived, I understand. Yes. And I want to say Nita. All right, Anita, that is it. Yes, Anita. We have a soul here named Anita. She's coming into the center there and walking around to the back. Anita. Does anybody know Anita, please?
Yeah, I think so, Jonathan.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
Yes.
Jonathan.
And she's coming in and blessing you. She's showing me fair hair.
Yeah.
And she's talking about some sort of cancerous condition, would you understand?
Yes, that's right, Jonathan.
And she's saying it started off in her upper body and it seemed to work its way around.
Yeah.
And
She's a very, very lively person.
Yes. And I do believe that she suffered a lot, but it was quick.
Yeah.
You see, it didn't last too long and it took her over very quickly. So she is here with you and she's saying, believe me, you have a gift. And you're going to need to use it. You have healing hands. And, you know, they're quite strong there, she says, and I can see that. Now, she says there is a fatherly gentleman that is still on the earth with somebody that is needing nursing. Do you understand this? Somebody is friendly around you and their father is being nursed at the present time.
No, can't pinpoint
Robert!
Ah, we have a Robert here. Now, this Robert is in spirit, and this Robert took his life. He is very much here at the present time, and he's leading to the rope where he hung himself. You know, I want to speak a little bit about that. And I want to say that taking your life was never going to be easy. Because when you take your life, you take all of your trauma across with you. And you relive it on the other side. It is not that you're going into hell. It is not that God doesn't love you, but you are meant to live your life. Everything is choice, whether you take your life or whether you live it. But you are given the choice to live your life and to live it to the fullest. Although we are here for a period of time and then we choose to go back home again, it is far more pleasant to go home naturally than what it would be to take your life. I have seen many souls that have gone into the light as eventuality, but they have taken their trauma across with them. They are floating about on the other side, and they're having to reflect on what they've done to the rest of the family by going through that. But we are not going to condemn them. We're not going to unlove them. We're going to give them all of the love and support that they need and bring them into the light if they see it. But you are shown, you are put in front of God, and you are looking at your life and seeing, well, look who I have upset down there. My mother is crying, my father is crying, my family are crying. They're never going to be the same again. God, have I done that? I have created such sadness for myself that I would leave them in bitterness so that their lives would be turned upside down. Could I not get any help? Could I not love myself? Could God teach me how to love myself? Could he have done if I have asked him? You are never going to be condemned on the other side. But whatever trauma you take across with you, you'll see it. In that state of mind, it is better to get help, isn't it? Never suffer and be alone with your suffering, because you are not alone. You have God on the other side that is prepared to be with you. I call him God because my mother brought me up in church, and that is how most of you put that higher power as. It is just an identification that you give. The being of all empowerment, knowing every single life on this earth, creating of it. But one day you will all rejoin. All of you in this room will eventually rejoin the other side. And you will probably be making your connections with your loved ones in the future. But what we are saying to you is, embrace life. Do not fear it. You may be going through a bad moment one moment, and the next moment you could be absolutely ecstatically happy. Your life could change for the better if you wanted it to, if you wished for it to. But the more you surmount your negative energy, the more you will revel in it, the more you will be in it. If you bring yourself positive thought, your life will start to turn around. If you believe that you are a beautiful soul that has great purpose upon this earth, and live your life and embrace it. Be thankful that you have a life to live. There are people here that are severely disabled, blind, deaf. They have no visual of the world, yet they have so much love to give. They may not be able to see, they may not be able